Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are all doing really well. I'm so excited for today's live and our stories from the Nook as we bring on somebody who I would call like a really good friend, a dear friend, kind of sort of my business buddy. She knows a lot about me behind the scenes. So I can never be on her bad side because she'll tell all my biz to everybody. But it's been such a joy to work with her over the last 3 years and watch her business grow. And I'm really grateful that she decided to come on and share her story. Our focus today with her story is actually because you guys all know Royce Bell from Roycycled Papers, Roycycled Treasures out of Arizona. But, she literally is the epitome of multiple streams of revenue. And it wasn't always that case. But today I really want to get down into when I started working with her and how we were to bring her courses to life, which then led into the launch of her membership. So we're going to bring Royce up to the screen. Hi. How
Hola,
are
hola.
you?
I am good. How are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Good. I love the back and over there. Very
Oh
different
my
from being at
gosh. I'm
home,
in the
right?
warehouse this morning, so we have tons of work to get done. So,
I
do you
love
want me to
it.
wear my headphones?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
to wear them because, I wouldn't be able to hear you otherwise. So with my fabulous hearing problems.
Okay.
So just ignore mine. I don't like to use the wireless either when I'm live or recording because they sometimes don't sync up. It's like so I've had issues with that. So I'm wired that way I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Royce, because I mean, obviously I know you, my community knows you. Um, like, you know, pretend that nobody knows you.
You know this is my least favorite part, right? I
I
still need to
know
put my
your
bio.
elevator pitch, maybe make it happen.
My name is Royce Bell. I'm the founder, owner, and operator of Roycycled Treasures. Roycycled Treasures is a creative business. We produce products for creatives to be able to create beautiful things for their hearts, for their homes, and even for their businesses. And we also inspire and instruct creatives through courses and now a membership. So
Yeah,
that is
that's
it. In
exciting,
a,
right?
it is.
That makes
It
my
is.
heart beat fast, right? So, Royce knows that makes my heart. It doesn't make her heart beat as fast as it makes my beat, but so we started working together in the fall of 2020,
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking about how long it's been. Was it 2020 or 2019?
No, were you with me during COVID? I don't think we were together during. It's funny. I don't think we were. Were we together during COVID?
We
I
were.
don't
I
know.
think so. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Well, the good thing is I can go back into the system and find out exactly. The hard thing with you is I've known you. Maybe you didn't know me, but you guys, I have known Royce forever. Coming from the furniture paint world, the decorative finish world, I will never forget the day that I saw Royce live, and she was doing a faux leather technique from her living room,
Oh yeah.
and it was I'm gonna just use this slightly. It was scrappy as fuck, Royce.
It was hella scrappy. I had a lamp, a floor lamp. I think I had my phone strapped to a wine bottle. Like,
But I loved it because that was me. Like at the time, we've actually talked about this because at the time there were a lot of amazing furniture artists and who had these gorgeous homes and beautiful like places and you and I are just we're very much the same of like we're a little eclectic, right? we're we're scrappy in our own sense. We're a little eclectic,
mm-hmm.
and um we I could totally relate. And I was like, finally, somebody who just has a passion for what they do and just doesn't care. Like
Yeah.
just did it. Like just did it. And it really encouraged me and I began to follow you. And then when I saw you one day pop onto one of my live videos, I was like, I was totally fangirling. I was like,
You
oh my
were
God, I love
not.
her. I I was, Royce. I was like totally fangirling over you. I'm getting the date now of like when, because I just feel like I've known you forever. And oh, December 1st, 2020.
Okay. So was because I was trying to think of how long it had been since I did my first course. And so that's why I thought maybe 4 years. Huh.
So December of 2020, which is right, because you guys, Royce came to me and said, I think I want to do this course and I need to run ads. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's do a course. Oh, I think I want to run ads. Right. And I said, let's do a course first to pay for the ads. Right. Because we got to generate money before we spend money. So let's make money first and then let's reassess. And then we can think about ads. And so you launched your first course.
She tricked me, y'all. We didn't buy no ads.
Let me ask you this, Royce. To this day, have you ran an ad?
I have not. I haven't. Not a paid, no, no paid ad.
All organic. Yes. 100% organic.
Yes.
No ads. No
Yeah.
ads. So your first course, what was it? What was your first course? Because there's been 5 or 6 since then.
It was a decoupage boot camp.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And how many signups did you have?
I had over 300, but a lot of those were probably about 150 of those were retailers because I offer
Yeah.
free continuing education for Roycycled retailers.
Right.
So
Right.
150 paid though. That's still pretty good.
150 paid. And then, and for some reason we get thumbs up on that. How did
I
that
guess they
happen?
saw my hands. I don't know.
Oh, that's hysterical. I've not seen that. I've not seen that before. Okay. It can't be as bad as my emojis here, like where I can just pop them up. Normally I'm in the middle of the screen and it's over my face. I didn't think about doing one for a dual screen where we could have like,
Oh.
right? Maybe I'll get a little creative next time. But anyway, so you went on to do a series of courses, and really our goal is to generate revenue. You had invested. So I'll kind of give you guys a back end side. When I started working with Royce, and anytime I start working with somebody who is going to be at a certain capacity in their business, I have to make recommendations tech wise. And one of the recommendations I made was Kajabi. I felt that that was the most ideal platform for you at the time. And I still think that it's the most ideal platform for you. And Kajabi is an investment every single month, right? And so I was like, we have to be able, this platform has to be able to generate this amount, that has to be able to generate at least $150 a month to pay for this platform that's expensive. And so so let's invest in this platform. And I think if I remember correctly, didn't you make enough to pay for a year in advance in that course?
I did. I did.
Yeah. So in that course, our goal was to pay for a year of Kajabi. And because it was cheaper, obviously, if you paid for a whole year, but it's still an investment in your business. And so we were able to take that money, invest in a whole year's worth of Kajabi, get that going, and then get another course launch, and
Yes.
then another course launch, and another course launch. I would say, knowing what I know, because we're on a journey to make our first 25,000 in your course, you were able to hit that by your third course.
Oh
Is that about
yeah.
right? Maybe
Yes.
your second. Maybe because the second one was pretty big too.
The second one,
I'm
I
trying
think
to
if we
think.
say 25,000, probably the third one would be
Third one.
like
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Okay. So by the time you hit your third course, you had made 25,000 just in courses, not
Yeah.
any of the other side of the business, just in courses. That's amazing. That's amazing. And
And
that was over a
honestly,
span
if
of
we
what,
take
18
into
months?
account, if we
Was
were
that
to
like
take into a, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
was that over 18 months? You think 12 to 18 months?
Let
Those
me
three?
think. October, and then I did one in the spring. Probably the first, that would be a year.
Year. Okay.
Yeah, right at a year.
Okay.
Um, and it's interesting because whenever I look at my stats, like on my e-commerce site, my sales go up like at least 35% whenever I'm in a course because I'm generally using things that I also sell. So if we took into account sales, it'll probably be even more than that. You know what I mean?
So that's the trickle down effect of teaching. is that a lot of people like, I don't want to give away. Have you ever struggled with that, Royce? The feel like you're giving away all of your ideas and all of your techniques. Have you ever felt that way?
So I remember you and I having this discussion when you were talking about me doing a course. I've never struggled with giving away the things because I am just built to serve. It's how I'm made. I
Mhm.
don't keep in my mind, I don't have ownership of this gift. Like it was a gift to me and I have an
Mhm.
obligation to share. I'm such a dork. I'm gonna cry a little bit.
It's
So
okay because
I
you and
don't
I feel the same way. Like I feel the
right.
same way. So
So
yeah, no,
I've
we're
never
servers by
struggled.
nature.
Yeah, I've never struggled with that
Hmm.
end of it. But when you talked to me and we were like, okay, we're going to build this course, my question was, why would anybody pay for a course when I give it away all the time? Right?
Hmm.
That was the question. So it's not necessarily that I struggle with the giving away part. I just didn't imagine that people would pay for the
Right.
course knowing that, it's already out there, but it's all over the place, right? And it has a lot of chitter
Hmm.
chatter and a lot of fun stuff. So inside of my course, it's like super concise, super organized workbooks.
Hmm.
So they're paying for the convenience, I think, of getting the information and being able to just have it be super concise and organized and being able
Right.
to get to if they have a question they can find it fairly easily because it's on their dashboards. But yeah, so that was an interesting what's the word I'm looking for?
Epiphany.
Yeah, that was a very interesting
Hmm.
epiphany for me because I really doubted that
Yeah.
people would pay for it because I do give so much away for free.
Yeah. And that is something I think that all of us struggle with a little bit. And I definitely struggle with it too. But I also, it's a little different on the coaching side, of like, well, I'm not showing you exactly how you use this software like on a live video. I'm just saying, hey, Kajabi is a great program, not for everybody. And I don't recommend it to everybody. As my group knows, I don't recommend Kajabi to everybody. Um, I'd love to like kill the affiliate side of it, but it's not a platform for everybody.
Yeah, it's an
And
investment.
it
But I
is.
also use it for a back end for my retailers too. So I use it for my
Yeah.
courses, but I also use it to organize
Hmm.
information for my retailers as well.
Yeah.
So,
So the course opened up the door to create Roycycled Academy,
mhm,
which is your learning platform, which then opened up a door to onboard your new retailers and get them the training and the tools that they need to succeed. Then it
yes,
also earlier this year in January, it opened the door to your membership.
yes.
And I've been pushing, let the truth be known, since January of 2021. January of 2021, I said, Royce, you need a membership. Let's do it. And she said, no way. And I fought with her for 30 months for a membership. 30, not 30 months. Listen, Linda, listen.
Well, in
No,
my
but
defense, I don't
I'm waiting
know.
to hear.
Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, though, right? Because I think
We're
having
exactly where we're
courses,
supposed to be at that moment.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think having had so many courses, I've been able to teach hundreds of people. So they know my teaching style, right? They know I over deliver. So I was able to build that trust because I don't think my launch of my membership would have been as successful had I not kind
Hmm.
of laid that groundwork with my courses.
Hmm.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, I don't agree with you. But it's okay. It's okay because I also told you that let's go through. You're not ready for a membership yet, and I do feel like that was God's work because last year in 2023 was a big pivot year for you,
Yeah.
behind the scenes, and I really don't think honestly that you would have been able to give 150% to your membership. And I always say we under promise and over serve inside of memberships. And so I do think that that was a divine intervention to know that we're not. And so I just said, Royce, then let's keep doing courses so that when your membership is ready, they know what to expect. We have a database of content. We have things to work with. We know what our people are asking from us and what they need from us. And I think that's exactly what happened. Your membership is new, and we're still trying to figure out the kinks. And I think I said a year. It's gonna take us a year to figure
You
out.
think so? I'm feeling really good
Mhm.
now.
Good. You had a round table like
Yes.
a bit ago, and so that was probably very eye-opening. We haven't had a chance to discuss that like behind the scenes yet, but I'm sure that was very eye-opening for you. And because our greatest fault, Royce, you and I have our greatest fault is that we think we know what everybody wants. I have no idea what they want.
No.
Mainly
No.
because we're dealing with creatives. And one day they want one thing, and the next day they want something else, and all the shiny things. And look at the squirrels everywhere. And those acorns are prettier over on that side than this side. And we're just supposed to rein them in, right? And bring them in. And it's very difficult. Very
Yeah.
difficult.
I guess I
Without
overwhelm people.
courses,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Without courses, where do you think your business would be today?
I don't think I would have had the capacity to be able to even make the changes I've had to do behind the scene because last year was a big lift, like mentally and emotionally, but also fiscally. Like this was a big capital lift for us to make this shift, and so having digital products,
Yeah.
kind of get and it gave me, it enabled me to have the capacity to even be able to do that.
Royce, it keeps giving you a thumbs up. That is the funniest thing I've ever
Oh, did it
seen.
give me another
Can
thumbs
you
up?
it does, because you're like this. And why doesn't it do it for me? Do you have some special setting on your phone on your thing? It's like it's so funny. It's reading you like this and it's giving the I love it though. It's super cute. But
Oh, that's funny.
um so the courses, I mean, last year you have the warehouse now. You're starting to bring all of your shipping in-house instead of relying on third parties to get it out to your retailers.
Hmm.
You're trying to speed up fulfillment times so that it's a matter of a week and not several weeks.
Yeah,
So that took a lot of logistics, a lot of money, a
yeah.
lot of time. Um, do you think though, without courses, that would have been possible to be able
I don't think
to
so.
that growth?
No.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
honestly, I know I wouldn't have had the capital. The difference between the digital products, like the courses and the membership, and like physical products, because I have to buy this product, I have to store it, I have to pay staff to prep it, what I'm saying? I have to ship it. So there's so many expenses that are tied to the physical product that by the time you get
Mhm.
done, your profit margin, I mean, if you're lucky, is like 30, 40%, right?
Yeah.
Versus digital products where even paying for the technology, and I have an online business manager with whom I would not be able to have this membership, by the way. My profit margin is still significantly higher with the digital products
Yeah, it
than
should
it
be
is.
around 80%
So it
ideally.
balances
Yeah.
out my because I look at my business as a whole, right?
Right.
I'm going to keep track of all the pieces, but when I look at it holistically, the digital products help balance out
Mhm.
the margins with the physical products. I hope that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and just to give the viewers like kind of a guide, it's really difficult. A lot of times I do get asked the question, like, what should my margins be? And it literally is different for every business. Like if I see a digital business whose margins are under the 80% mark, then it's like, what's going on? Like something, this isn't working. If I see a product-based business that their margins are under the 40%, then a lot of that's hard because shipping expenses and staff and whatnot, that is where you do have to bring in another stream of revenue to get the overall business margins where they need to be. Because honestly, if your margins aren't at 70%, then what's the point? You can go work for
Mhm.
somebody else and make more money. I mean, that's the reality of it, you guys. Like as creatives, I'm not talking about big corporate business. That's a whole nother. They love having losses on the books, right? But for us, we gotta pay our light bill. Like, we gotta feed our families. We gotta. I got dogs here that need grooming, and a teenage son who needs God knows what the next day. Like we have to be able to have money, but we also have to have money to grow a business. You
Yes.
cannot continue to be where you were at 4 years ago. You know, you have an interesting before you started on the decoupage papers, you were making paper mache deer heads.
Hmm. Which I know sounds
And
crazy, but yes,
so you ended up getting, why don't you tell them a little bit of a story about that? Because here's the reality of being a maker, you guys.
it really.
Royce, tell the story a little bit, and it's eye opening.
I learned a lot from this. I started making them. I made the first one as kind of a gag gift, and then my friends all wanted them. And I had just discovered Etsy. This is Lord, this is years ago, and
Like
so I just put
2016, 15,
somewhere. What? Yeah, somewhere in there.
2015. Okay.
So I put my first one on Etsy, and it sold. And I think I had like $40, right? And then before I knew it, I had like 10. I was like, oh crap. So each piece, my hands would be on that piece for 5 hours. Not drawing time, that's my hand on the piece, right? So I kept raising my price and raising my price and raising my price, but the sales, they didn't slow down. And it just became unsustainable. And then I had my first like offer. Hannah Anderson is a children's store, and
Mhm.
they were rebranding and they wanted me to build pieces for all 80 of their stores. And they submitted their initial order for 50. I had a full-time job, y'all. I was the creative director. Listen to me. I was the executive director of a nonprofit. I had a full-time, one of those salary plus jobs. You don't
Yeah.
work 40 hours a week, that kind of job.
Yeah.
And so I have pictures of my kitchen island with like all these deer heads and like different stages of getting done. And oh my gosh, um, I built the 50th one for Hannah Anderson and I closed my shop. I was like, I've made one other one for myself, but I learned a really valuable lesson about that, right? Um,
That
and
you
so
weren't
when I
designed to be a
started,
maker.
well, you know what?
Makers make no money. You
Right?
cannot make money being a maker.
I think if I had gone in with the knowledge that I have today, I would have done a much
Mhm.
better job. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was just excited people wanted my paper mache deer heads, you know.
That's
And
so
I was
funny.
shipping them all over the world. I mean, all over the world. I
You
was shipping
hear
these
my
deer heads.
little, do you hear her? She is being a complete and total biscuit. All right, keep talking. I'm gonna like block her out of my room. So keep talking.
Poor baby. Um, what did she say? Keep talking? So, anyways, yeah, that was my last deer head I ever made. I got burnt out. And Hannah Anderson wanted a discount because they were buying in volume. So now I was making less per head, right, than I was even making when I was selling them retail. So, two very vital lessons I learned about pricing is that when I settled on a price for my new product, I had to keep in mind that there may be opportunities for wholesale in the future. And a lot of us don't think about that. And so we price it based on what we're going to sell to the retailer, but we don't even leave a margin there for the opportunity for wholesale.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's a big problem we see, isn't it? We don't
yes.
price ourselves in that too. Like
Yeah.
pay ourselves.
Right?
Yeah. I
40
mean, I look at
bucks.
it like
I wasn't even
I
paying
don't know
myself
how.
$10 an hour.
I mean, yeah, and the $40, you're like, okay, 40 and I made 50 to your heads. That's $2,000, right?
Well, no, by the
And
time they came to me, I was already charging like 150 head. I
okay,
kept rising the prices because I was hoping it would slow
okay.
down the number of orders, but it
But
didn't.
even still, how many weeks did you work on that deer heads for
The
50 of them?
50? We didn't talk about the timeline. I had 45 days. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're
Royce was
making 1.1 deer
delirious.
heads a day for 45 days.
Yeah. I was pretty
Yeah.
delirious.
Yeah. But like you were saying, though, that opened up many doors for you. We learned along the way.
We did.
Um, I would
And
think it was the same in my paint company too, because for me, it was, even though I had amazing margins, like it just wasn't, it wasn't my why. It wasn't like, I didn't feel like this isn't what I didn't know what I was designed to do. I didn't know what I was supposed to. I clearly know now what my why is. Had no idea back then. I was just rolling with the punches, like rolling
yeah,
with it. And it creates like a very unhappy feeling, when it's like you've created this, like, right? I've created this brand and you created this amazing product, but then you're like, I can't, this isn't for me. Like, this
yeah,
isn't. And then I don't know about you, but the guilt comes in where you're feeling that this isn't, I'm not grateful. Like, I had this business, I had revenue, like very nice revenue coming in, but I didn't love it. And then I felt like ungrateful. Like, what makes you like, you're so ungrateful? Like, you have what you dreamt you wanted to have. Like, maybe you dreamt of the day, Royce, when you're like, wow, I can't wait till I ship a lot of these out. And then it happens and you're like, rewind. I don't want to do this anymore. So, um, Royce, did you freeze on me? Let's see. I think we're back. Um, Royce had to like change, like, you know, change locations. We lost her. It was like this, right? I'm like, is she frozen? So,
A plane flew overhead and then it did that. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm back.
yeah, no. So, anyways, when it comes to giving tips to people about doing their first course, I'm a huge fan, you guys. I get a lot of people who are like, I want a membership, I want a membership, I want a membership. And I always say, like, most are not ready for memberships. Whereas it was a little different with you because you had already spent 3, 4, 5 years teaching, you know what I mean? And that's a little bit different. A lot of people want a membership like right out the door, and they just don't realize how much time is involved, especially not just in the front end on the teaching, but the back end on the tech side. So, what tips, if somebody wants to launch their very, very first course, like what kind of tips can you give them to just get it done? Get it done. Like, not
Just
being
get it
perfect,
done.
just get it done.
Well, that's my tip. You just took it.
Just get it done.
Just start where you are, what you have, and move from there. Because because I can spend time planning something. Oh, goodness, I can plan something to death and never move forward. My business really started growing. Let me think. It was I want to say January of 2020. Oh, no, January of 2019, when my mantra was um, do it imperfect,
Mm.
literally.
Do it.
Just do it
Mm.
imperfect. You'll figure it out along the way. And there'll be oops and mistakes and all those things, but you'll learn from all of it. And I've learned my first course was, I mean, it was good. Everybody enjoyed it. But for me, I'm always
Uh-oh. Did we lose her again? The joys of being in a warehouse. All right, you guys, hang on here. Okay, I think we're back. All right, we're good. All right, we're back. Did you get another plane flight? UFOs in Arizona are a real thing, y'all. A
right.
real thing there. Um, so
Um,
just being imperfect, like just doing something that you're passionate about, just getting it done. You don't need any fancy software. You don't need anything. Go live. You did yours live, right? Was your
yeah,
the leather was live, right? That was the first one I remember. I don't know if that was like the first one you did,
that
but
was my very first course. I taught it inside of a Facebook group. I just did lives inside of the group. There was no workbook. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Literally, I just scheduled dates. My students were gained entry into the group. I did the live trainings. That I don't even know if
Mhm.
I emailed them. Like that was really scrappy because I
So
didn't even
how
have
did
an
they pay
email
for it?
list
Do
then.
you remember? How did they pay for it? Do you remember?
Um,
It was like $10, wasn't it?
it was probably somewhere close to that. Yeah.
Okay. I
Um,
remember paying like $10 or something for it.
it was really inexpensive, and I can't remember how they paid for it. I probably invoiced them through PayPal or something. I don't know. I don't even remember. That's funny because I didn't have an email list. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have all this stuff that I have now. I didn't have that when I did that
Did you
course.
even have the decoupage papers?
I don't think by the time I was doing lives, I had my paper. I think. I don't know.
That's so funny. Courses, I'm telling you though, in my opinion, courses are the gateway to so many things, right? Because you learn like what your audience needs, you learn what kind of products you need, you learn your own personal abilities, what to teach, what not to like courses to me. I mean, the holy grail of income really is reoccurring revenue in memberships. But I feel like if you can nail courses, and I don't just mean one, I mean like 4, 5, 6 of them, a membership is easy peasy. Like that's kind of sort of a no-brainer at that point. Um, I mean, I listen to you talk and I see all the open doors that came about. from it,
I'm doing the
from
courses,
like
yeah.
from
And it
that one
also
thing.
gives you confidence too, right?
Mhm,
Because you're teaching, because my favorite part, teaching is my favorite. I do think
mhm,
it's a gift for me to be able to teach adults. My brain is wired differently than a lot of other people. And so I teach a specific way. And I never considered that as being like value. You know what I mean? Like the way
mhm,
you teach, like our brains are all wired differently. And I remember my friend Joni, she told me, because I was
mhm.
hesitant
Yeah,
to do
Jenny,
that
yeah,
course.
she's here in Florida. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
I told her, I'm not going to go on live and do a course. Like, because like you said at the time, these
mhm,
girls were in these
yeah.
beautiful kitchens with this, you know, wall of
I
beautiful
was yeah,
cabinets, and they had their makeup done and they were all perfect and they were teaching. And that was everything but who I was. And Joni said to me, she said, show up authentically as yourself and
mhm,
you will attract your people. Like,
yeah.
period.
Yeah,
And
she's super spicy like me.
she is. Yes, she is.
Could you imagine her and I together? We never really, like, got together where we could do a live together, we had talked about it before, but could you imagine her and I together? I
No.
think we'd both be removed from the internet. I'm pretty
I
sure
think
of it.
so.
I'm pretty sure that we would be banned for life. Like, I'm pretty like, yeah, she's super spicy like me and just doesn't care what anybody thinks or says and just says what's ever, like, on her mind. I love her, by the way. So, Jenny, if you're watching, we love you. So, we love you if you're watching. If you're not, that's cool. Everyone's how we love her. And she lives on the East Coast of Florida. I'm on the West Coast. So, but she's
Yeah.
great. She's amazing. So,
And she invited me to teach inside of her membership. She had a membership at that time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so it's just been this really gradual process, but it's not as scary as you think, right? I guess that's if you want to like, it's not as scary as you think. Um, we always underestimate our own value or the value of our knowledge because
Mhm.
we think, oh, well, that's just super easy. When the reality is, it's easy for you. You know, that doesn't mean it's easy for other people.
Yeah.
And if something is super easy for you, that is a really big clue that that's where your gifting lies, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and other people, they it's hard for somebody else.
Yeah,
So
we were been told in the course creation world that you only need to know 10% more than the people you're teaching. And I never really understood that. I'm just like, how can anybody in the furniture paint world, it was different. I'm like, how can you not know how to strip a piece of furniture? How can you not know how to sand something? What do you mean you don't know? Like for me, it was just so obvious, but I had been in that world for so long that I just never really thought about it. I just never really thought. And when somebody's like, well, how do you strip that? Or how do you, the biggest one I always had is how do you fix veneer? I'm like, a clamp and some glue? Like it's like common sense one. But then I had to remember I came from a father who was a woodworker. So for me, it was common sense 101.
yeah,
And
it's
some
the
people don't
curse
even
of
know, like,
knowledge.
yeah, yeah. And others don't even know what wood glue is, that there's a difference
And that
between them.
brings up a really important point too, because I think that for a lot of us, specifically in the creative world, we feel pressure to do something new and exciting and different. When the
Mm-mm.
reality is the magic lies in that space um, for the knowledge that you take for granted, right?
Right,
Um, I
right.
believe one of the reasons why my courses and my membership is so successful is because I am a dork. If you tell me the sky is blue, I'm like, well, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to give me an explanation for why, and I want to know all the things. So that's how I teach.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times we leave out those pieces that we think are like common sense 101, like you said.
Right.
But those are the pieces that a lot of our students are missing. So if you can serve them in that space with that knowledge that you take for granted, like
Mhm.
to me, that's where the magic sauce is.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and also too, what I've learned about courses and having a membership as well is that people wanted to feel like they belong to something. We talk about the free stuff versus the paid stuff. Don't overthink that, y'all. Y'all are overthinking that, okay? Y'all are overthinking that. Give away whatever your heart desires for free. Whatever you feel like you want to give away for free, give it away. I'm one of those that's like, if you want to do it, do it. But here's the thing, when you do a course, it is not just about what you're teaching, is it about the environment that you're creating. You're opening the door to that, maybe even that one-on-one questioning. You're opening that door to a community. You're opening the door to a supportive environment where when you're giving things away, you're not involved in that side of it. You don't see the outcome of it. You don't see the process of it. You don't have friends you can ask. You're just going to kind of wing it. There is a difference. And you have to remember what they're paying for is access to you. As the course, they're paying to be able to ask you those questions that maybe on the live you're like, I saw it, but I'm not answering it. Like I draw the line right there. I'm not answering that one. I would, for me, when I was teaching, when I had my paint club, is that I would get questions, and in my mind, I'm like, that's a YouTube. I'm going to bank that one. That's a YouTube video, because all those questions to me were YouTube videos. How do you make the glaze? How do you decoupage without wrinkles? Like, y'all, I don't decoupage. I ironed some wrapping paper to some drawer inserts. That was the extent of my decoupage. I was not in the decoupage. And plus, it was kind of before your time a little bit too, Royce. In all fairness, I didn't know about you then. Like your products then, it didn't exist.
I didn't exist then.
Yeah. No, you didn't exist then. We took rolls of wrapping paper and cut them up, and that's what we did. And we ironed them on with parchment paper. But I would see the questions when I was doing the free stuff. And that's what I made YouTubes on. And that's what carried me into my membership and my paint club company and my paint club and like all of that. And one door, and then that led me to this here. But my course experience is very different than yours, Royce, because back in the day, all I wanted to do was teach decorative finishes. Like I just want to teach faux finishing, but my people didn't want that from me. And my people were coming to me to figure out how I was running a membership and how I was doing courses and how I was doing that. They could care less about the faux finishing. And I was so mad about it. I'm still mad about it today. I'm so mad about it because they will literally tell you what they want. And it's up to us to listen.
Yes. I'm learning that through the membership. I am.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit, they will tell you what they want from you.
Yeah.
I know, Royce. It's hard, right?
I'm hard. All passionate about this thing, and they're just like, nah, that's not what we really want. It's good though. It's
really color theory, Royce. Are we getting a master's degree here? I don't know. I'm just using that.
I'm gonna put the medicine in some juice. I got it figured out.
You got it figured out? Okay.
I do. I have.
But you don't figure it out until you launch it. We can sit there and think about it for years and years and years, and about that first course, and about having the perfect lighting and all the perfect camera angles and all the perfect everything. And then you find out that's not what they wanted at all. And that's how I did my videos for my paint club. Perfectly edited, lighted videos with multi cameras and the perfect instruction. And my people wanted to know how he's getting 1 million views a month on Pinterest. They did not want to know nothing about my painting. Nothing. I'm very grateful for those people today.
Yeah.
They pushed me into a direction. So
I was thinking, I do a lot of thinking, and I'm in my crazy week right now where my mind does not shut off for anything. And so yesterday I was thinking about that because I've been posting on LinkedIn. And so I'm like thinking about like what I'm going to post. And probably one of the most important lessons I've learned as a business owner in general is that we have to be malleable enough, right? Like we have to listen to what the market is asking for, because if you keep trying to push your own agenda, you'll just run into a brick wall and that's it. So, I've just been having a lot of thought about my personal branding and about how the average business lasts like 10 years, which can be scary. But like this is the third iteration of my business, literally, right? That I'm entering into. And so you have to be malleable enough to listen to the market and make the changes, or you just. So I think for you, like that wasn't your plan starting out, although you did really well with your membership and your 1 million views, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? You were smart enough to listen to what the market was asking from you and kind of make the change.
I guess for me, and I would encourage a lot of you who are in the struggle right now of making that transition of what am I supposed to be doing? Right. Like I love to create. And I will say that I haven't created anything in 5 years. And as a creative, it's hard that we went through this in mastermind. Royce is in my mastermind, you guys. And we went through this in mastermind where we had a virtual retreat. And we did this back in the fall of sort of in a roundabout way for us to release things that are holding us back. That was kind of the theme of this, like how to get rid of the things that are holding us back. And the thing that I really had to come to terms with is I'm no longer a creative. Like, uh, right? For years, I was like, it's okay, you guys. I'm in the trenches with you. I see what's going on. I'm right there beside your side. I'm doing the same thing as you, blah, blah, blah. But there comes a point as a business coach that I have to step to the sidelines and I have to be calling the plays. And I always say, I want you guys to win the Super Bowl, right? The coaches are not playing the Super Bowl. They're on the sidelines. They're watching what is going on and they're relaying that back to the members to get them or the team to get them to make the right plays. And the minute, and y'all, I did not realize this till like last year. Okay. Like last year that's what I'm supposed to be doing, that I'm no longer, well, I always be a creative. Yes.
Yes.
But I am no longer a creative. I no longer own a creative business. And that's the reality of it. And I'm a coach. I'm a business coach. And that's what I do. And I think I do really well at it. But it's a struggle. I had to let go of the fact that I was hoarding all of these supplies. And my group is seeing the transition, right? I've been hoarding these supplies and hanging on to, like, sometimes it pains me when I see people in my community, in my group, and I see their ideas and they never execute them. You know what I'm talking about, Royce? We see a lot of
Yes.
that, right? And they never execute them. Inside, I'm like, man, you know what I could do with that? You know what I could do with that? You know what kind of business I could create with that? And I'm like, nope. Buttercup, stay in your lane. That's not what you're here to do. And that's not what your community wanted from you. My community did not want that from me.
Well, and you can see the entire field if you're standing on the sideline, right? If I'm the quarterback, I can't see past my defense line. I don't know what's happening on the other end of that field, right?
Yes.
So there's extreme value in that and being objective. Sometimes, last quarter of last year, and this arena was really, really hard for me. I started on this huge journey and I really couldn't see myself. I couldn't see past my current circumstances. And so every day I had to just wake up and just say, okay, what are 3 things that I can do today that are going to move me forward? Not move me where I not need to be, not move me to a place where I'm comfortable, just forward, even if it was just like an inch. But those inches turned into feet, which turned into miles, which is where I am now. But it takes a lot of courage because you're still scared as hell. So I'm not going to say you're fearless because that's not it. But it takes a lot of courage to just get up and step forward. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because it's hard to step back and go, okay, well, this is where I need to be in 5 years. I'm telling y'all right now, wherever you think you're going to be in 5 years from now, you ain't going to be there. But it's okay. But that's the point. You're supposed to evolve, right? You have an idea of where you're going to be, but we get so hung up on, I'm not where I want to be in 5 years from now. No, Buttercup, you got to work backwards. Where do you need to be today? We're just focusing. I mean, literally, I'm focusing on the game today. This is the game that we're playing today. This is what we need to do to make a score. What are we going to do today? And each one of those will get us to, get us to the Super Bowl, Royce. So they have
we
Puppy
saw
Bowl
a team
week,
this year lose to a team that was like place like 30 because they looked past that team to talk about what they needed to do to win the game after them.
Yeah.
No, you're dealing with this today. You got to play this team today. So you have to have all your focus here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we just get so, and I want Royce, we talk about, like, I want my members to dream. I want you guys to dream. I want you to like paint that picture of what it is that I'm working for. Because sometimes as a creative, we don't really feel the love, right? We don't have, ain't nobody giving us a plaque and throwing us a party and rewarding us with a
I
bonus. And there's none of that. Okay. There's none of that. So we rely on each other to lift each other up and to celebrate those moments and those wins and whatnot. And it can be, being a business owner is a really lonely place to be,
Yes,
like, and it's very lonely. And it's very, if you don't build that community that you can know them and like them and trust them. And I'm not talking about your customers, I'm talking about your inner circle to run your
yeah,
business. You have amazing support too, Royce. And that
I
is
do.
huge,
I'm so blessed. I
huge.
will tell you though, my friends who like, they love me, but they think I'm crazy, Serena. Right?
Do you think
They're
mine
like,
are
"You're
any
gonna do what?"
different?
Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's super important to align yourself with like-minded individuals who you can
Mhm.
bounce an idea off and they understand like where you
Yeah.
are. They understand where you're struggling. I mean, I don't want to live in that struggle place. Like I don't spend a lot of time there.
Mhm.
Me personally, it's like, okay, this is a problem, and then I'm like, I'm gonna acknowledge it, but then what are the things I need to do to get past the problem?
Yeah.
But it's nice to have people who understand. Being an entrepreneur is not an easy journey. You know,
Yeah.
um, we're made to dream big, so people
Mhm.
are not. There are just not a lot of people like us. There just
No.
aren't, and they're not going to
No.
see things the way that you see them. So you want to align yourself with people who do because it's super powerful. It's really
Mhm.
powerful.
Yeah.
If
I
I'm
remember when
having
you
to,
first, yeah, keep going. And then I'm going to tell you, like, when you first came to me.
oh Lord,
Yeah.
if you're walking upstream for every
Mhm.
single like thing that you accomplish, it gets exhausting after a while. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's how it is in the world a lot of times when you're dealing with people who just don't get it, you know.
Yeah. And we have to get to a point where we're like, you know what? This is my why. This is
Mhm.
my journey. These are my ideas. This is my experience, and I control my destiny.
Yes.
And I don't need the love and support of people who don't love and support me and what I do, or people who think that I'm like batshit crazy for what I do. I remember when you first came to me, Royce. She's so corporate, y'all, and I appreciate that world because there's the financial advisor side of me does. I do understand that side quite well. But she was so corporate, and she's like, I just need like actionable items to like get this done. I'm like, Royce, listen, baby girl, mindset is everything, and if I can get your mind right and your mind ain't in the right place, ain't nothing happening. Like we're gonna need to work on this, Ugh, right? Or he's like, I don't need no mindset. How'd that work
Mm.
out for you, Royce?
No, because what happened? Because I was safe. When I came to you, I was still
Yes.
safe. I still had my full-time job with benefits and all the things, and
Hmm.
this was my side hustle, right? But when you get out on the end of that ledge, I'm gonna tell you what, your mindset is everything. It is everything, right?
Hmm.
The further out you
Yeah.
get, the more important mindset becomes
Yeah.
because, you know, um, especially if you're doing something you've never done before. I mean, you're pushing
Yeah.
limits. You're pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone constantly to get to that huge goal that you've made for yourself. Your mindset has to be right. It has to be right
Hmm.
because we can talk ourselves out of some shit real easy, or we can place barriers that we
Hmm.
put ourselves,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah. Queen of
and then we
walls.
whine
I
about
am the
them.
queen of walls. Like I am the queen of walls. Like you would
I
think
got
that I live in like concrete block jail cell. I'm the queen of walls. Mm,
right, and we've erected
mm,
them, and then we look
yeah.
at them and we're like upset that they're there. And so, mindset is huge. It's huge. I think at
80%.
that time I was still safe, so I was like, I don't need that. I'm good.
Yeah. And I always say the easiest job you could have in the entire world is working for somebody.
Yeah,
It really
it's
is. It really, even if you have a 60 or 70, 80 hour high stressful job, it is still going to be easier than running your own business. It is extremely difficult. And I never want to paint a picture to anybody like for any of our creatives out there who are watching. I never want to paint that picture of peonies and roses and, beautiful rainbows and butterflies all over because that is not. There are a lot of dark skies, there are a lot of tears, there's a lot of transitions, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work. There's just a lot of trial and tribulation. But if you don't find the community to help you along with that, and whether that community is at home with you, and some of you are very blessed to have that. I am not one of those that's so blessed to have that. But actually, my son is extremely supportive. He's very proud of his mama. My mom's a YouTuber. I'm like, 4,000 people, babe, is not a YouTuber, but that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. My mom's an influencer. I'm like, influencer what? Shit? Like, I don't know what I influence. Okay, baby. Thank you, honey. You're so sweet. Like, you're so sweet. And then it's usually like, Mom, can I have a car part? Mom, I need this for my bike. My mom's like the best person ever. Like, you got money, Mom? You got money? I need money, Mom. But no, it definitely, it's like if you guys don't have that support at home, there's this incredible support, like in the computer. Like Royce is a huge part of my business. And not just the fact that, she's in my mastermind and I get to be part of her business, but she's also my business buddy. Royce and I talk about all sorts of things from personal to business to we cry it out, we hug it out. I'm in Florida, she's in Arizona, but we just find a way. You have to have that. And, and I've always said, whether you pay me or not is a whole nother thing. Like we're into this together for life, Royce. So like for
We're
life,
married
you're,
now. I
you're
thought dating you for
stuck with me
$1.
for life.
Now we're
For
married.
life. Yeah, like we're
No,
married now, Royce.
my husband is extremely supportive. He is my
Oh,
biggest
he's
fan.
incredible.
I love him, but he just doesn't quite understand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even if you have support, it's still they just don't quite understand, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
No, I get it.
you
Yeah.
know,
No, I get it. I mean, it's hard when people say, what do you do? I mean, I asked you in the beginning here, so where I said no one's ever met you, what do you do? And a lot of times they just look at you crazy. And it's definitely my scapegoat is definitely say, oh, I'm a financial advisor. I'm a business coach. And I used to get so spent. I go to network meetings. People are like, I'm a life coach. And I'd be like, really? Okay. I literally, y'all, everyone I would meet, this is back like 15 years ago. I'm a life coach. And I'd be like, get a life. Like in my get a real job. Get a real job. I am so sorry for like, Lord, I'm so sorry for every person I ever put down that said they were a life coach because they are so needed in this world. I just didn't realize at the time that my life needed a coach, right? But did it ever. So it needed more than that. But I do think you guys finding that network of people that you can bounce ideas off of. Business buddies are free. Yeah, you got to pay for a business coach. I think the business coaches are worth their weight in gold. I have multiple business coaches. Royce, you have multiple business coaches. I encourage my community to have multiples. Although when you're getting started, it's usually best to stick with like one thing. That would be me. But it's best to stick with like one thing first and then figure out what you need. Because I'm the first to say, ooh, that's out of my realm. Like that's
yeah,
out of my, like I'm trying to get better with the scaling of memberships. One of our memberships, Candy's Creations, is almost at 800 members. I'm trying
that
to
just
get
gives me
better.
the hives.
Gives you the hives. I thought it'd give me the hives too, but now I'm like, let's do 1,000. Let's get it. Let's get it. Like, let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready because I feel like we have everything in place. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like we're so ready for it. We have everything in place. And the reality is, it's going from 800 to 1,000. It doesn't create more work. It's the same. That's the beauty of memberships. It's the same amount of work. Whether you have 400 or whether you have 1,000, depending on how you're serving them. For me, I have a little struggle with that in my coaching group because I do serve very hands-on. I'm very connected with my community and my members, and I know who's in my group and who's not in my group. I'm not sure how I would do that with that number. I'll figure that out later because I'm not going to tell God that I don't want that because I
we're
do.
not erecting
But
no walls.
there are no walls here. I have had enough jail cells in my life. There are no walls because if I'm blessed to get to that point because he thought that I was worthy of it, I will take that blessing all day long and run with it. And then I will show others how to do the same. But I know that like I am not that great in words. I've even told I'm not that great with launches. Like I'm really good at scaling on the back end, and I'm really great at like implementation and how to serve our communities and how to get our members to work for us. But I haven't been that great at launches. And so what do? You guys, now I have a business coach to help me with launches so that
Mhm.
I can take that information and help my community build better launches. It is important to know like what you're good at and what you're not, and to just get rid of the walls. Get rid of the walls. What do you think if you could give somebody that like the most valuable piece of voice advice about grow? They're kind of playing with fire. They've got a business, not really going anywhere. What do you think the most valuable piece of advice you could give them?
The most valuable piece of advice to me is going to be figuring out your why early on, because
Mhm,
money isn't enough. When you're up at 4 a.m.,
mhm,
when you're, making time for all the things, when you're making the investments, money is just not enough.
mhm,
And honestly,
mhm.
even your passion for that is not going to be enough.
No, no.
You know, my why has to do with building something for my grandchildren.
Mhm,
Like my why is like this huge thing. And to me, it's bigger than anything that I'm doing. And it's the thing that carries me. So you really want to be
mhm,
clear on your why.
mhm.
Because there'll be walls that you'll erect for yourself. There'll be walls that'll be real that you have to figure out how to get around or knock them down. And that why will really strengthen you to be able
Yes.
to move forward even in those times.
It's interesting to me that you picked a mindset.
Oh, shush. I
Thing.
actually, I even have a mindset coach now.
Good,
I do.
good.
Because I reached a
Yeah.
place,
Mhm.
you will reach a place in your business where you get to the end of you. I don't know if that makes sense,
Yes. 100%. Yes, without voice, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You will
right?
break. You
And
will
I will
break.
tell you, Serena, probably the biggest benefit from being, because I know I started dating you for $1 in December of 2020. And I mean, and like, you don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
Like,
You have
you
no
just
idea what's on
don't
the other side. You have no idea what's on the other side.
know. And
Mm-mm.
you can't navigate it yourself because you don't even know, you don't know what you don't know. And
Mhm.
so it's super important to have a coach who can like help you navigate the opportunities and the possibilities. And
Mhm.
what it does is it puts you in a place to be able to consider things that you would have never even thought of before. So
Yeah.
like when you're trying to do it alone, you're missing all these opportunities and you don't even know
Mhm.
because you don't even know they exist. And
Yeah.
so, and you can take 10 years figuring it out, or you can just pay for the knowledge and move forward faster.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, for me, I was on that train for many years that I didn't see the value in coaches or courses, or like I'm pretty smart. Like I can I can figure this out. And it wasn't until I took my first course on courses. And this is after I had already done courses, so it was like, okay, well, I must be missing something. And my first course that I launched, I told my story, last week, is that my first course that I launched, it was a $25,000 course launch, but it wasn't enough. I wanted more. Like I wanted more, but I didn't know what that missing piece was. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what I didn't know. Like I just didn't had no idea what lied on those other side of the lines. And I do think that, coaches, people who have been you can't be a coach unless you've walked the walk. Like if you've never played football a day in your life, there's no way you're gonna be able to coach a football team to the Super Bowl.
No,
No way.
no.
You've got to be able to play the game. And there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of value out there. And I get some people are like, I can get it on YouTube for free. I'm like, but how do you know what to watch on YouTube for free?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to watch. I don't know what to watch until something's broken. Like, that's the thing, is people don't seek help until too late. The average business takes 36 months to actually make $1, like
Oh, I
profit.
did pretty good.
Make a profit. 36 months to actually
Oh,
make
a profit. Yeah. No, I'm just being a dork. I know.
a profit, Royce. 36 months is average. But what do you do in those 36 months when you're making money, but you're investing that money right back into your business, you know? And I do want to allow my creatives to dream. I encourage you guys, I talk about it a lot inside of our groups that I want you guys to dream big. I want that. What does that look? Because that's the only way I can get to motivate you. Nobody really knows what 25,000 looks like or 100,000 looks like, or heck, we have people in our group that are a couple million. We don't really know what that looks like or feels like, but I will tell you, even when you hit 1 million, you want 3 million, and then you want 6 million, and then you want more and more and more and more, as you should, because the second you become complacent with where you're at, then you stop growing, because it will never sustain. It will never sustain. You have to continue to keep these pivots. Where she said you're on your third pivot.
I mean, girl, I probably pivoted. I don't even know. To me, a pivot are like the small tweaks in your business. You know what I'm saying? Where you're making choices.
Yeah,
But
I guess
like
so.
complete reiteration of my business. Absolutely. This is the third one.
Third time. Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. This is not the coaching business that I started with 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely different. Completely. I'm actually coaching now, Royce. Imagine that. It's a weird thing, right? Like people like want a business coach, not like somebody just teaches technology, and I'm big techie, right? And
I will say, though, I'm probably not the person to ask, but without the technology that I use to multiply my efforts, I would not be able to have a product-based business, a membership, courses,
retailers.
family, retail. It's just the customer service alone for 300 retailers. I mean, I'm saying, like, there's just no way I'd be able to do all those things without.
You can't run a business without technology.
No,
without
the end. Duplicate myself.
You cannot run a profitable, sustainable business without technology. It is absolutely impossible. Reese, before we wrap up here, when I say the word tech stack, like what are the top 4 tech thing? We know you're using Kajabi. Give me 3 other I can't live without programs that you're using right now in your business.
Oh Lord. Okay, hold on.
Filmora?
No, I don't use Filmora that much anymore. Although I'm going to start because I'm going to get back to my YouTube.
Okay. Good.
Actually, I'm not. Don't put that one because I'm going to give that to my assistant to edit those. I'm not going to do that part. Okay. So Kajabi for sure. My email. Sure. My e-commerce. I'm kind of cheating because I use e-commerce for retail and for wholesale.
It's okay.
And I'm trying to think of something that's more like an app that I use often.
CapCut.
Oh yeah, I use CapCut every day.
CapCut. Yeah, same here. Yeah, CapCut. Yeah. All right, so you guys hear that? Kajabi. Who's your email provider?
I use MailChimp.
MailChimp. Okay, so Kajabi, MailChimp, CapCut, and who's your e-commerce with?
Right now, I'm shifting everything over to Shopify.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that's right. So we'll count that as Shopify. Is like.
And honestly, can I give you Pirate Ship? That's my other one.
Oh no, you didn't give me Pirate Shop. So I'll have to make like Royce's like little tech stack here. So I'm just gonna write this down: Kajabi, MailChimp, and then we have CapCut, Shopify, and what was the other one?
I use Pirate Ship. And I know everyone's software will do their shipping for them, but I have control issues. I use Pirate Ship.
So funny.
I know.
Oh my God, I love it. So that's how you create $1 million business right there. Kajabi, MailChimp, CapCut, Shopify, and Pirate Ship. $1 million, baby.
Is that $1 million?
It is.
Last year was an investment year. I know.
It was an investment year. There was, but we should have a 7-figure business. If we were to do the valuation, sell your business, you have a 7-figure business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say you're welcome? I'm just kidding.
It's
I'm
been a
kidding.
huge, I honestly, I
Oh.
probably, if this Roycycle would have still been a side gig, honestly, if I hadn't found you. Like I do, like feel that with everything in me.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I would have still been
Mm.
doing it, but it would have been a side gig.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah,
It does.
seriously. None of us can do this alone.
Mm-mm. Not even me. I can't do that. I can't be a coach alone. I can't. Who am I going to coach if I'm by myself? Right?
Or even on the back end, like I have contractors, and they all have very
Yeah.
specific duties, but it's things I don't have to do now because they've been delegated. If I was
Mhm.
still trying to do all the things, I
Oh,
would not be here.
our team is everything, aren't they? Oh my God.
Mhm.
What would we do? I don't even know I can't even think ahead. Like, I can't even think like what I would do without my team.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
I can't even travel without my team now. They come everywhere with me. They go on cruises with me. They go on trips with me. They go everywhere with me. Like, I can't, what's on my calendar? What am I doing? Where am I going? Whatever they keep me. Oh my God, they keep me. What would I
and,
do without my team?
and you'll get to a point in your business, and it's like a crossroads, right? It's like I've gone as far as I can go by myself doing all
Mm,
the things. And you have to make the leap of faith to hire help before you make enough money to pay for that help.
yeah.
But you have to think about what is having that help. How much further are you going to be able to go? Right.
Mhm.
I just remember that moment in my business where I was like, I can't afford to hire anybody, but if I don't hire anybody, I'm not,
Yeah. Well, I remember us talking about it. I just said, okay, if you hired somebody for 3 hours and you had to pay them $60, how much money can you make in 3 hours? I can make more than $60 in 3 hours. Just I can make that just sending out one email. I can send out one email. It takes me 30 minutes and get 3 membership signups, which is equate to $180 of recurring revenue a month. That right there paid for my, like that's how we have to think as business owners is they can free up how much time, how much money can I make during what can I put in place during that time that makes XYZ. And it's going to be far more than you pay out. Royce, it took me 5 years to get to that point. I didn't bring Leanne on until February of 2020. And, so she's been my right hand since then. I literally can't do like the thought of like even traveling these days without Leanne. Like I can't travel without her. I can't do anything. She even sends me about so and so sent you a friend request. Am I to accept it? Whatever you gotta do. If you think it's okay, like it's just like I can't live without my Leanne.
yeah,
And my content creator, Christy who's been my dearest friend for like 22 years. These are people who followed me back when I had another creative business, like it's insane. I would be lost without my team.
yeah,
And my son, who's very lenient and very supportive and very encouraging to his mom. And, um, you know, he actually, I would say he's my why. I mean, you talk about your why is, leaving something for your grandkids. And I kind of feel like now he's about taken care of. We're good now. Something happened to me. He's okay.
yeah.
But my why now is I just want women to feel empowered that they can literally accomplish their dreams. Like that's what I wake up every day going, what life can I change today?
Oh,
Like with
absolutely.
this knowledge, what life can I change? Whose life
Today.
can I change today?
And I
Mhm.
guess my why, because I have my personal why, and then I have like
Yeah.
my professional why. I think my ministry to women has been something that was planted in my heart years and years and years ago. And I'm not standing in a pulpit with the Bible, but I do think
Yeah.
that I don't know, like this is why I was put here, right? Was to
Yeah.
encourage and lift women, and it just
Mhm.
your gift is your gift, and what it's wrapped in may be different for different at different times in your life. Like
Mhm.
I'm teaching
Right.
crafting, but that's just the wrapping. The gift is in the inside, and that's the important piece.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that when you have a serving nature, and you and I have pretty strong beliefs, and I think our beliefs are pretty similar. And when you have a very, I think, I don't know about for you, Royce, but my younger years was taught like the only way you could serve was in the church. Like that was the only way you could serve, right?
Yeah.
And if you weren't serving in the church, then you weren't serving at all. And it wasn't until I was well into my 30s that I realized that serving comes from the heart. Like serving has nothing to do with walls, because it's really what it is the building. And that serving as something that comes from the heart. Like what makes you feel good about it? I have a lot of education, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of experience. And I was like, yeah, I have that, but somebody gave it to me. Somebody took the time to give it to me.
Yes.
My God gave me the opportunity to be able to take that. He put it in my path. He put it in my journey. He put it on my thing. He knew that that is what made that is my why to keep going. Because somebody would say to me, why do you run a financial planning practice and a coaching business for creatives that you don't? I'm like, you don't really understand. Like, I really do the same thing. I just serve two different groups of people, but I
Exactly.
make dreams a reality. I help people with their finances. I make their financial goals come true, and I make business goals come true. And then actually the two of them are very much very, very the same, just two different maybe sets of people.
Yeah.
But when I wake up every morning, I literally say, whose life can I change today? I have that. And I think as servers, that you have that ability, Royce. You have that ability to change somebody's life. Yeah. Without a doubt. Like whether it's our family, our followers, our retailers, our customers, we have that ability to change lives. And not everybody's a server by nature. And I've discovered that. And it's interesting how we tend to surround ourselves with people who are similar like us.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and we're not all supposed to be the same. That would just be boring.
True. But could you honestly work with a group of people who were not servers by nature?
I would struggle.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. It would be a very one-sided relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And nothing in our businesses want to feel one-sided ever. So, and not to the people that we serve. So it's funny because you and I do two different things, but we very much the same people.
That's what I'm
So,
saying, because the gifting is there. It's just a matter of, I don't know.
yeah.
It's just,
Royce, I thank you for taking your time to share like your story and your tidbits with us as we like take these amazing my followers, right? My followers, as I'm supposed to be a leader, we're taking my followers on this journey to that they can see that, hey guys, it really isn't that difficult to make the first $25,000 in your creative business. If you like, it's one idea, it's one launch, it's one thing.
yeah. But you have to execute. Thinking about it and planning it is not going to get you there.
Just do it. Do it scrappy. Do it with the wine bottle and the phone strapped to it and the bad lighting. And make sure that the background is as chaotic as possible, because this is all they're going to see. What is that back? Hey, you got that piece back there? What you going to do with it? You're like, I'm right here, baby. And they're like, oh, you guys, the more junk you have in the back behind you, the more views you will get, and the more questions you will get, the more engagement you will get, because they're all worried about what you're going to do with that stuff behind you. I'm telling you, right? It's like creative 101. The more crap you have in the back, the better.
Creative chaos.
Yes. And then my life is organized chaos. So it's no longer creative chaos. It's just organized chaos all the time. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I love it. Royce, thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing man, girl, I can't wait. Next year, we're going to have a call like this again. And it's going to be like, oh, Royce, I'm so glad we're moving our way towards an 8-figure business now. No, I pray every day. I know it will happen every day.
I'm
every day.
it.
And I know you're not driven by money, but I am. So,
because
I'm driven by money for you all.
Stop. We could talk forever. But is it really the money, or is it what the money brings?
It's what the money can do.
Yeah.
So when I pray for my creatives, or when I'm processing what we're doing for them. I want that for you guys because I do know what you can do with it. You know what I mean? And so you can see of all the things you want to do. I may not see all of those things. And I'm like, Lord, just give her like that she deserves like that opportunity. She deserves that in her business because I can see what she can do with it. And I mean, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing what those funds can do. But you also have to have somebody in your life to guide you to make the right decisions. Because honestly, I know we could talk forever, Royce, but you came to me 3 years ago and said, I want a building. And I said, absolutely, positively, no.
She tells me no pretty often.
I said no. The day she came to me and said, I want to make cake in a jar.
No.
It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mixed mug cakes.
The answer is no.
I know.
I said, Roy, stay in your lane. No, now is not the time. The answer is no. I think I need a building. No. Moving on. What's next? Oh, membership would be great. Let's do a membership first and then we can get a building. No. Not ready for that. We're not ready then. No building. No building. No building. And now we have a building, right? Because we were ready for it.
Yes.
Though, I got to give it to you. You listen. And I thank you for that because you do listen. Like, you do listen. You might fight me, but you hear me and you listen. And you always have something to hit me back with. And I can take it and listen to it. But I hear what you're saying, but it's a no.
I know. No, I wasn't ready. And I probably would have ended up in a space that wouldn't have served me long term because I was really short-sighted at that time. So.
Walls.
I know, right?
Walls. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get it. So, well, we're going to stay right here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Obviously, any questions you guys have, please feel free to drop them. And the thing, if you haven't figured out now, again, I tell them now, I didn't want to tell them at the beginning, Royce. We are actually faux live right now. If you guys didn't figure that out, I didn't want to tell you at the beginning because I didn't want to keep you all from watching. Like, this isn't really live. This is actually faux live because tonight I'm actually with my amazing, awesome son and his last performance of the season for school. And so Royce was kind enough to pre-record this for me. So y'all, we are in the chats and the thing. Obviously, you guys have seen my team in the chats with you. I didn't want to mislead you by any. I don't really know if we ever said, yeah, we're live. And then Royce was like at the beginning, she's like, yeah, well, this morning. And I'm like, okay, well, it's supposed to be 7 o'clock at night, Royce. No, but and then we had some moments of internet down that I had to pause it and whatnot. So I thank you guys for hanging on to our faux live here for today, for tonight. But if you have any questions for Royce or me or whatever, drop them like it's hot, right? Drop it like it's hot. And we'll get them answered for you. Royce, stay right here. Thank you all so very much for being here. And I hope that I see a lot of you next week in our masterclass. We're starting our 5-day masterclass on Monday. The group is already open. I hope that I see you. And there's 100% free. There's not even a single upsell. No workbook, no upsell. Well, there's a workbook, but I'm not like, it's all 100% free. I just want to come in and love on you guys for like literally a week and a half of all kinds of good content and talking about making all of this come together and my thought process and how I work with creatives to make it happen for them. And so I hope you guys join us for the masterclass. Royce, stay right here just 1 minute and I'll see you guys soon.